Alright, so I've been working this new job. So I have like a new job, but I picked up some extra work, and it's waiting tables for like catering events at this really cool spot. It's part of like a museum, like a hip museum, but they do events there for really fancy people, really wealthy people, and it's like very cool, high-end, like amazing food, and you're running it out places, and it's wild. So I stayed up later than I've stayed up in freaking months, outside of waking up in the middle of the night to take care of a child. I stayed up till about 2 a.m. on Saturday night because I worked a gig. It didn't get done until probably about 12:30, 1-ish. And then, you got to drive home, you got to take a shower, you got to take a second to come down from it. Long day, but what's crazy about this job is I'm not very good at it. And it's just service. It's bussing tables. It's passing out food. But like, a lot of people look down on the profession of working in the service industry. But like, you got to do a lot. You got to remember people's orders. You got to write down orders. You got to make sure. You got to have a really sharp mind in order to be a part of a strong team of people. Serving one another food and whatnot. But anyways, man, like this event that I worked was huge. It was with a bunch of big donors, and I gotta tell you, I spilled some wine on someone who was wearing a tuxedo that was quite pricey, and they were upset with me, but it was fine. The manager was cool. The manager was like, whatever, dude, went and talked and cleared everything up. That's a great thing is, a lot of the time, like with this situation, I'm working for this really cool manager, and they just they look out for their employees and stuff, and super chill. I've worked in food service before, but never anything like this. I've never worked it anywhere where I'm passing out like Wagyu steaks to 300 guests and stuff like that. But when I was delivering pizzas at a mom and pop shop and doing that whole thing, like, man, everyone was so angry, and the workers, it was just crazy. Like, people were just so cranky all the time working there, and they were like, if you didn't know something, if you weren't aware of something, instead of being like, oh, let me help you figure it out, it's like, oh my gosh, this idiot doesn't know how to, I don't know, change out the soda syrup or switch out a keg, stuff like that. They'd be like, oh my gosh, what an idiot. I remember at that job, I'd be on the phone taking orders, and people would be like throwing olives and flour all over me and stuff like that, it was fun. I was young, it was cool, it was whatever. Maybe it could be considered hazing, but yeah, I'm working this job, and it's interesting. I'm just not very good at it yet. And I'm not carrying 60 plates like the other folks are. Like the 5'2", 95-pound 20-year-old is doing right next to me. The manager made sure I was only carrying 2 plates out instead of 3, because it's a lot better to be 1 plate less than to drop 3 plates on a rich person, But it was a wild event, just that lifestyle, that socioeconomic status is very, very foreign to me. I'm middle class, working class kind of upbringing, and it's just interesting and fascinating. It's so foreign to me. But there's a lot of nice, like in any situation you find yourself in, there was some really kind people. There's people who weren't super kind. There's people who were having fun, people who weren't having fun. But the guy who I spilled a glass of wine, I got bumped into too, but the guy who I spilled some wine on, I don't even know if I spilled it on him, but he was just going off on me. That guy wasn't too stoked, but it wasn't, in a past life, I probably would have been really bothered by that, or felt really bad, or felt really stupid. But the more I realize that I don't really matter too much to a lot of people outside of my close inner circle, I guess the less important I see myself as, or the less seriously I take myself, the less and less those kinds of situations where I screw up matter. But there are also moments where still when I came home, I was like, why did I say that? Was that stupid? Was that silly of me? Why did I deny the pizza? We had Papa John's, and I was like, no, I'm trying. I don't want to eat pizza, even though I was a little hungry. I was like, no, I don't want to eat. I'm just trying to eat healthier. I was like, man, did that make me seem like a dork? I don't know, but I like the job. I think it's good for everyone to have a situation that they find themselves in every so often, where they're exhausted, where they're pushed a little bit, where they feel a little inadequate, not like emotionally, but like, hey, there's definitely some growth that I need. And it's also humbling because I hadn't worked in like the service industry in like probably 10 years, but to be like, crap, like, man, look at these people who are just running circles around me with a tray of 6 half consumed champagne glasses. Look at them, and I can barely hold these 2 plates and take it back and scrape the trash into the bucket. But yeah, it's a good time. Still figuring it out, as we all are. So yeah, back to my other job, where I sit and I meet with some cool young individuals and try to help equip them to enter the workforce with the skills to be a little bit more sharp than I am. That's kind of my whole philosophy of my career in that light. But yeah, one thing that's interesting about this service job I'm doing is the person that I work for is my younger sibling's best friend's mom, and I'm realizing with just how she's been treating me that, and I obviously didn't intend for this. I didn't have the forethought to have this move in my back pocket or anything, but it does pay to be kind to people. And it does pay to be kind to somebody's kid, because you never know. You might end up working for the parent of a kid who is in your life for many number of years. And I was kind to this person. I like this kid a lot. So I wasn't doing it for any reason other than, they deserve that and more. But I can tell where my level is at, and the treatment I'm getting is far above what I feel like I deserve. So I'm very grateful for that. And this person is like, super hard worker, has an incredibly busy schedule that I work for, but they take the time to take it easy on me and, show that they care about me. And I kind of get it now, like when someone's nice to your kid, what that means and the respect that you have for that person. And I feel like I have that respect from this person that I work for. But they're really cool, man. It's a fun gig. I really enjoy it, and it puts a lot of things into perspective. I see different sides of life in many ways. Even working with people in the service industry, like I freaking love that demographic. It's so fun. Like I feel like when I'm around them, I'm like, okay, these are my people, So yeah. You guys have a great week. Peace.